Unforgiving Utes. BYU blew their last shot at the team from up north for a couple years. What went wrong, and where does the team go from here?
Defensive edition. The Cougs welcome back a Provo native, and he's ready to hit the field. See what the new kid on the block can add to an already stout Cougar defense.
And student seating. For those about to rock, we salute you. But if you want a good seat, you might have to clear your schedule. I'm Jake Edmonds.
And I'm Mary Blanchard. It's Whiteout Friday, and it's time for the Tube. Jake, we looked so good in that royal blue last week. I'm excited for the whiteout today. I just wish that the royal blue could have helped us get a W last week.
Yeah, the royal blue looked great, but the team just couldn't get it going.
Now, although the team is down but not out, running back Jamal Williams is just down for now. Here he is in the third quarter. You can see him try to sneak through the line. He takes a hit and his helmet goes straight into the ground. Medics carried him off the field and rushed him to the hospital. His trainers say that he's doing okay now, but isn't ready to play in tonight's game. Now, to add insult to injury, the Utah win puts the Utes ahead in the Deseret First duel. With football being worth a whopping 10 points and women's soccer and volleyball only bringing 6 to the Blue squad, the Utes lead 10-6, but hey, there's still 28 more points up for grabs and lots of Ute teams to be rocked by the end of the duel.
And the other thing is that basketball is worth another 10 points. So I hate to say we lost to football, but at least you can say there's always basketball.
We have to hold out hope for basketball.
Gotta win basketball.
When Coogtube returns. Friday Night Lights. The Cougars look to get their season back on track as the Blue Raiders ride into town. It's finally a new week. Time for Cougar Nation to wash the bad taste out of our mouths and try to get back to 500. Bring on the Blue Raiders. Let's get to know the foe. Middle Tennessee is 3-1 out of Conference USA, coming off a dramatic win, as you can see here, last week at Florida Atlantic. The Blue Raiders mirror the Cougs in a lot of ways, so they attack on the ground and they struggle with the pass game. And us Cougar fans know all too well that the team is dead last in pass efficiency, but MTSU isn't actually that far behind. Their quarterback Logan Kilgore is a third-year starter, but he's come down with the turnover bug as of late, throwing 5 picks in his last 3 games. Now in the Blue Raider backfield, BYU needs to watch out for Reggie Watley. This dude is a playmaker. Watley went absolutely bonkers last week at FAU, going for 154 yards on just 10 carries, and here's one of his 3 touchdowns. BYU's strengths and weaknesses are well documented, so the first key to the game tonight is turnovers. The Cougar defense that feasted on TOs last year hasn't recorded any in 3 weeks. Now, if that's not enough, MTSU is undefeated when they win the turnover battle. KVN and co better come out hungry. Our second key for BYU is a fast start. The Blue Raiders are also unbeaten when they score first, so if they do that tonight, we might see some frustration on the field and in the stands that just might fuel an upset. Those 3 bloggers are going to be looking out over LaVell Edwards Stadium tonight, and they're going to see a sea of white. Coogtube reporter Kyle Ireland shows us what BYU is doing to bring more intensity to the stadium. The next time for special game day apparel will be on October 12th. Fans in odd sections should wear blue, and even sections wear white, when Georgia Tech rambles and wrecks their way into town.
You know, I actually like it when they do this. I like the whiteout this year. I liked it last year when they did it with Washington State, and the blackout as well with Oregon State.
Yeah, that was really cool. I like these ideas. I think it just brings the crowd together and brings a whole new level of excitement to the game.
When Coogtube returns. Sudden slump. The women's soccer team is struggling to find the back of the net and coming up short on the scoreboard.
And home cooking. The Lady Spikers continue to roll in the friendly confines of the Smith Fieldhouse, right through the number 2 team in the country. We'll be right back. Here on the Tube, we're used to reporting W's from Southfield, so it's a little shocking when the Lady Cougars start slumping. BYU women's soccer tried to get back on track last night, but 19th-ranked Denver had other ideas. A rain-soaked Southfield left more than a few fans with wet clothes and wet blankets, but if you like defense, this game was well worth it. It was an old-school showdown in goal. BYU senior Erica Owens going toe-to-toe with Denver senior Amelia Davis. Cougar fans know all about Owens, but they quickly found out about Davis. The anemic Cougar offense didn't have an answer for the keeper and were frustrated by plenty of missed opportunities. The Cougars had 10 shots on goal to the Pioneers' 11, and that last shot is what's going to haunt them. Denver's Nicolette DiGiacomo with a huge shot to beat Owens in the 88th minute, and that'll put another wet blanket on the evening. Jaden Thornock can't connect with anyone on the desperation cross, and the Lady Cougs suffer through another stunning defeat on their home field. They fall to Denver 1-0. The Lady Cougs have dropped 2 straight, and it hurts to say that, but compared to their conference rivals, they're still third in wins and tied at second for total goals scored this season. Next game is a week from Friday against Baylor in Waco. There was a familiar face to Cougar volleyball fans on the opposing bench last night. Coogtube reporter Dave Neely was at the match and got to spend some time with the St. Mary's head coach.
Yeah, Rob Browning is very familiar with Provo. He was here as a player and as a coach for BYU. Since that time, he's worked his way up the coaching ladder and now finds himself on the opposite side of the net. Browning told me that throughout it all, he's had faith that everything works out, and his national championship ring and gold medal is certainly proof of that. From the newsroom, Dave Neely, Coogtube.
So, Dave, what made him want to leave D.C. and pursue coaching?
Yeah, he got out there and started coaching a church young men's basketball team. He fell in love with coaching, and the rest is history.
That's great. Thanks, Dave.
The only time that I don't want to see a former player go and coach is when they go to the University of Utah for like football, Kai Whittingham. It's not something that I like.
No, I'm not really a fan either. So moving on to weather here, there's some snow on top of the mountains. It's raining. It's not looking like great game day weather.
Yes, I will tell you what that means. It means that it's freezing outside. I'll let you know how cold it's going to be when 11 game time weather returns.
Thanks, Eliza. It's time for the best part of the show. It's time for predicts. Everyone's at a 0-0 record. I know I'm going to be dominating this year, so let's welcome everyone to the rectangle and get started with predicts. Jake, we'll have you go first.
Yeah, I'll start us off. I know it's going to be a cold day today. Thanks, Eliza, for that weather. But BYU is going to come out on fire. They're going to destroy Middle Tennessee State. And then our other pick is Ohio State at home against Wisconsin. I don't see any way the Badgers can keep up with Braxton Miller and the Buckeyes, so I pick Ohio State in that game as well.
All right, Dave.
I'll pick BYU tonight, and if the referees can spot the ball tomorrow, I'll take Wisconsin over Ohio State.
Dave, I'm going to have to disagree with you. That Ohio State, their offense is unstoppable. So I'm going with Ohio State, and then the Cougars need that win. So I'm going with BYU.
As for me, I'm going to pick BYU over Middle Tennessee State. Unless things go really, really wrong, we should be able to beat the Blue Raiders there. And I'm going to pick Ohio State. They've just looked really good this season. Their offense is impressive. I mean, when you beat anyone 76-0, that looks good.
Dave, you're the odd man out.
Yeah, Dave, what's with that? Why are you picking Wisconsin?
Go Badgers.
All right, so Dave has Wisconsin. He's the odd man out. I pick Ohio State. The thing is, Wisconsin may have the refs to blame for the Arizona State game, but the game's not even going to be close against Ohio State. Braxton Miller's going to run for over 100 yards, pass for over 200 yards. It's not even going to be close. Wisconsin's going to score maybe 14, 15 points, and Ohio State will be up in the 30s.
Yeah, I agree. I'll be surprised if Wisconsin even scores that many. Ohio State is just a force to be reckoned with this season. And as for BYU, we have to have a win coming off that ugly loss last week. Our offense just needs to shape up and get some passing yards, and I just really hope we can compete against Middle Tennessee State.
Yeah, they definitely need that confidence booster, especially when they're going to be going against Utah State coming up. And we're going to need that win, especially for our recruiting here in Utah. We're going to need that.
The thing with BYU this year is that their offense has been pretty poor, but they've still put themselves in a position to win, even the games that they've lost. And Texas isn't a bad team. They did lose to Ole Miss, but they do have a good quarterback in Ash and a good coach in Mac Brown. And so BYU has shown that they can beat teams at home. Utah, they've always struggled against, but I think they can beat the Blue Raiders.
All right. Thanks, guys. That's Coogtube for Friday, September 27th.
If you want another look at the stories we did today or to share with your friends, check out the Coogtube section of our website, 11news.byu.edu.
Have a great day, everybody.